A very good day to Dr. Siti Nora speaking and my fellow friends. My name is Unusual Matrix number 263441. I am from Group Squad A. Our group will present about Peter Senge. Peter Senge born in year 1947 in San Francisco, California. In year 1973, he graduated from bachelor degree in aerospace engineering from Stanford University. After that, he graduated from master degree in social system modeling from School of Management. In year 1978, Peter Senge graduated from doctorate in management from Sloan School of Management. In year 1990, he published book named The Fifth Discipline, The Art and Practice of the Learning Organization. The fifth discipline was recognized and appreciated by Harvard Business Review and was named as Strategist of the Century. Currently, he is director of the Center for Organizational Learning at MIT Sloan School of Management. The 5 disciplines in both the art and practice of the learning organization are system thinking, personal mastery, mental model, shared vision, and team learning. In personal mastery, it is a set principle and practice that allow a person to learn, develop personal vision, and see the world objectively. Individual organizations must learn themselves and gain personal mastery before organization can really become organization. He identified personal vision as a core component of achieving personal supremacy. Personal vision is more than a set of goals and objectives. It is a profound commitment and awareness of one passion and intent. It has ability to concentrate on one ultimate intrinsic desire rather than a secondary objective. Personal mastery is formed by 3 aspects, which are personal vision, creative vision, and commitment to the truth. In personal vision, it can define as ability to provide a clear picture to let a person become a best leader and work toward what they need to focus on. Creative tension is gap between current reality and vision that is source of energy. Commitment to truth is process of broadening awareness and cannot make any changes before become more aware of current reality. Mental model deeply held internal image of how the world works and how we take action. It founded on a person-like experience and perception which has been strengthened over time. It reflects people in terms of behavior and belief about how they see the world and customize their mind and bring it out to reality. This is a useful method for preventing people from being trapped in static mindset or mental model. Questioning one's expectations and thinking beyond past experience will lead to increased imagination and innovation. Shared vision is the discipline in learning organization which is developed by Peter Senge. Shared vision is practice of unearthing shared picture of the future that foster genuine commitment and enrollment rather than compliance. It is internal force in people's heart that unite them in a common goal. People inspire to fulfill the organization mission and vision because they have a common vision. Vision is important for the learning organization due to concentrate learning and committed with a lot of people. The process of develop a shared vision are mapping, generate a statement, fine-tuning the vision and putting it together. Mapping is develop a strong vision in the organization that encourage employees to think broadly and important aspects of output and future image. Generate a statement is encourage team members to think realistic barriers and limitations that will happen. Fine-tuning the vision is organize a small discussion to discuss the statement that generate earlier. In pulling it together, leaders need to imagine every possible outcome that will happen at the end process. Team learning is project team, product development team, cross-functional and other category of team exist in today's company. It is process of aligning and developing the capacity of a team to achieve or create the result of member truly desire. Self-directed teams are self-contained and operate without the need for a centralized leadership system. Self-directed work teams participate in workplace learning. System thinking is conceptual framework, body of knowledge that develop in order to make full pattern clearer to see how to change them effectively. It is discipline by the discipline together, fusing them into single pool of expertise and practice. It prevents from being in state or the current organizational change. It is important aspect of learning enterprise to acknowledge the interdependence of all corporate unit and operation outside the conventional cause and effect characteristic. The characteristic of system thinker are seeing things in the whole picture, looking for interdependence and paying attention. Seeing things in the whole picture help leaders to focus or realize future issues that negatively affect organization. Looking for interdependence, have a better understanding about the world progress. Paying attention, have a quick analysis and understanding a situation.
My name is Joylin Chung Hian and my metric number 262318. Now I would like to present about the application of 5 disciplines of organization learning by Peter Michael Senge. First, I will talk about the application of personal mastery. Peter Senge has said that individual learning is the way that organization learning, but sometimes individual learning does not make organization learn. However, without individual learning, the organization learning does not occur. So, in the word of Peter Senge, we can see that how personal mastery is important to organization. Personal mastery can also define as self-leadership, and it also includes self-awareness, self-management, and self-learning. If an employee cannot master themselves, how can the employee master the task that given by the organization? Therefore, there are few examples for employees to practicing a high personal mastery. First, employees can set a vision that needed to achieve in the organization, so that the vision that's set by employees themselves can motivate them to do work. For example, employees can set a vision like being the top sales in the organization within 2 years and try to achieve it. And next, employees can develop their abilities and learn new skills. An employee that has more skills and competencies is more valuable for an organization. This is because only employees started to learn and to gain more skills, the organization will be able to start to learn. An employee also need to know their strengths and weaknesses. By knowing their strengths and weaknesses, the employees can use their strength to help the organization and improve their weaknesses. Nowadays, only a small percentage of companies today recognize how important it is for workers to find their values and passion in their jobs. When employees do not find their value and passion in their jobs, it means that the employees also cannot have personal mastery. They do not automatically to learn and gain their skills. So the organization played the main role to help their employees to practice high personal mastery. Only the smart companies or organizations invest in learning. For example, Amway Company, the world #1 direct sales company, they're having a great example on helping their independent business owner in developing personal mastery. In this company, they are having one system called Total Quality Group System. It is a business education system that includes the business support material in form of books, audio and video, CDs, and business training and seminars that help their independent business owner for personal development and also helping them to develop their Amway business successfully. Amway company believes that what we become is more important than what we get. It means that Amway is the company that more focus on personal development of their independent business owner. This is why Amway has made many people successful in their Amway business. and also become the world #1 direct sales company. Second, the mental model. Mental models are closely held images such as mental image, perception, generalization, or abstraction based on evidence that each of us keep in our minds and that shape how we view the universe, our work, and our families, among other things. Everyone has a different mental model. It is because everyone born in different family, having different education and facing different things in their life. So our mental model is unique, and the unique mental model can influence the way we view a situation, perceive challenge, and create solution. For example, a leader had assigned two subordinates the task to increase the customer's satisfaction. Employees A think that the price of the product is the important driver of customer satisfaction, but employee B think that the employee's satisfaction has the bigger impact on customer satisfaction. At the end, the leader find that both of their ideas can increase customer satisfaction, but just increase a little bit, and the result does not last longer. One of the reasons why this situation appears is because the leader forgets about one important driver, and it is the change of mental model. Employee A and B need to think differently about the problem. They need to stand on many sides to think about it, and the most important is the leader need to help them by changing their mental models. The mental model is not fixed, and they can be changed. There are a few steps to let a leader to change their employee mental model. First is awareness. Leader can attempt to assist their employees in comprehending their current mental model. Simply becoming aware of current mental model can result in change in thinking and behavior. In this step, leader can try to talk to their employees about what they think and can let them do some survey to know more about them. The second step is to accelerate the change process. Leaders can aim to develop training interventions that can assist employees in shifting their mental model. For example, give employees a different realistic situation to practice, so they can test their decision and refine their mental models. The most important method for speeding up this process are simulation and real experience. The last step is measuring progress and set goals. Leader can provide employees to learn how their mental model have evolved over time, how their existing mental model correspond to professionals' mental model, and how much work they need to do. With this step, leader can help their employees to change their mental model to an expert mental model that can help the organization to achieve the vision. Besides that, there is an example of company that applying this mental model to their employees, which is IDEO company, a global design and innovation company. They disseminate information freely, even soliciting staff input on cost-cutting decisions, and they provide workers the freedom to engage in a manner that better suits their skill to the firm's need. Much of Senge discipline has been incorporated into this open team-based, non-hierarchical pyramid, which has resulted in rapid success. For the shared vision refers to the development of common goals that an organization and its employees wish to achieve, as well as the value and guiding practices by which organization and their employees hope to get there. It means that shared vision is bringing the organization and their employees together to having a same goal, so that the employees will give full commitment to their organization when they have the same vision or same goal with their organization. If an organization wants to share their vision, they must build a good vision that their employees can relate to and believe in, and even bring them together to work in. Organizations also must strongly embrace the notion of everyone striving against a common and broadly goals, which is ideally broad and general enough to tolerate shift in tactical strategy and product orientation. This vision should be achievable based on the company's true capability and can be used to create better goods and services. For example, the vision of Toyota company is to create a defect-free car, and they have progressed more than any other corporation in history. This is because Toyota having a good vision that can let their employees believe that this vision is possible and make them willing to work toward the vision, and therefore Toyota have come further toward this than any other company in history. The vision of the Toyota company can be shared to all employees through the display of vision of the intranet notice board and shared to the news entrance employee during orientation. Shared vision is a very powerful tool that can bring people together to achieve common goals. The next discipline is team learning. There are many organizations know that teamwork better than individual. A team, especially those who made up of different people, are much more effective than individuals in solving problems and proposing innovative ideas. Peter Senge also said that when a team learns together, not only can be a good result for the organization, members also will grow more rapidly. And he also said that the discipline of team learning starts with dialogue. The capacity of members of a team to suspend assumption and enter a true thinking together. Which means that if a team wants to start learning, they need to start conversation or start to talk to each other. This is because if the team members do not start conversation, the team member cannot know what the other members think about, and they cannot learn from each other because in their mind it's just their own idea, and they cannot expand their knowledge and their perspective. So having a team meeting and team discussion is the way to bring out the team learning. For example, when an organization having a problem that bother them, they may have a meeting to let their employees come up their ideas about the solution and try to discuss which is the better solution for the problem. And the organization can learn from the meeting also. It is because there are many ideas come out from their employees, and it made the member in the organization, include the employees and manager, can learn also from each other. Besides, for applying the team learning, the organization can integrate their departments into a single team and let them learn from each other. For example, IDEO, a design company, have also invested heavily in the discipline of team learning. They have formed an effective team which the employees who expertise in human resource, engineering design, marketing, sales, and software development into a single unit with open collaboration and joint leadership. Hence, they have become a company that is distinctly superior in planning, building, and operation because of this. It is because they integrate function, it makes them can learn from each function and make them easier to cooperate with each other to produce the best design. The last discipline is system thinking. System thinking is the discipline that integrates the others, fusing them into a coherent body of theory and practice. According to the Peter Senge, the ability of system thinking is to comprehend and address the whole and to examine the interrelationship between the parts, provide both the incentive and the means to integrate the disciplines. It means that system thinking is the ability to integrate the critical elements of an organization and to understand how each impact the other. In an organization, there are many departments like production, human resource, administration, and so on that keep the company running. If organization integrate all departments and let the department working together, it will make the organization operate well. For example, the IBM company is a company that has integrated many of these functions and has a competent, engaged, and long-service workforce. Their employees has been cross-trained and often perform many diverse functions. For the other example, there are some issues like lower sales happening in the organization. It's for the normal organization, they will think that it is the problem of sales department. But for the organization that applies system thinking, the organization will think that it is not only the problem of sales department. And at the end, we will see that the normal organization cannot solve the problem, but the organization that with system thinking can solve the problem. It is because the organization that with system thinking, they believe that viewing a problem like this apart in isolation of the larger system within which it operates, the whole tend to ignore other departments that might influence its potential for the result. There are many factors that can influence the sales like training, prices, promotion, and marketing. So it is not only the sales department problem. The organization should try to accumulate the idea or the solution that every department can provide to solve the problem. For example, the human resource department can provide the training courses for the salesmen to gain their skills on selling the product. And the marketing department can try to survey the market and set the price of the product that can compete with the competitors to increase the sales. System thinking is an important discipline for organization. It will let the organization viewing problem widely. That's all from me. Thank you.
Name is Ong Wei Lee. Metric number is 2Z3147. Now I will present contributions and benefits of learning organizations. First, efficiency gain. A culture organization that encourages knowledge share can create a mindset to promote efficiency gains. Learning and sharing the knowledge together will continuously improve the efficiency of the entire organizations. A learning organizations will continue development and facilitate the learning and development of its member. Second, to avoid decline. The fixed discipline learning organizations allow a company to challenge itself and improve. Team learnings can naturally avoid stopping the company and become stagnant. Third, increase employee satisfaction level. The benefits of a learning organization is creating an environment for employees, enable them to expand their capability to create the result they want. It decreases employee turnover as employee levels rise and loyalty is increased. It can boost employee satisfaction when the employees' self-interest and company's goals of the business are same with its have the same shared vision. If self-interest different from the goal of the business can lead concerns like workplace anxiety and burnout, which can affect productivity directly. 4. Improve quality, productivity, and profit. A great learning organizations that allow employees to learn from each other and learn from the mistake. When everyone in a company that learns together, this means they're able to enhance the quality of the product and productivity when the skill is improved, which can consequently have a direct impact on a company income. Next, enhance problem-solving skill. The different individuals have different perspectives and experience, which is useful when the company is facing a complex challenge. The collective brain power of an organization more likely to be solved. The problem shared. Maybe the best solution we never think will rise by the work made to solve that problem. Learning organizations use the knowledge to better link resources to solve the problem. Last, adapt to change. The organizations can increase the pace of change within a company. The employee in a learning organization is better placed to respond to external pressure. They're able to remain competitive and the level of innovations. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Senge and my metric number is 263443. So for me, I will present about the part of the disadvantage of learning organizations. So next, the first criticism of learning organization is the organization act as a barrier for learning. So learning in the organization is partially and temporarily bounded by the organization cultures, and individual learnings described as a 9 to 5 phenomenon which that is driven by the works established by the workplace and only measurable by observable job activities. So the competencies that support the organization are used to describe the valuable information, and the problem is the confliction between the human and organization learning, which is often ignored in the learning organization literature. Okay, so for example, here got a scholar that names Dizon 1993. He have emphasized that only individuals always learn instead of organizations. And she moved on to the outline strategy for promoting the interpersonal learning based on instructor approaches for individuals to extrapolate the concept from human learning process for of an action and thought, as well as the emerge and transition of meaning insights, and extend them adversary to an organization is to pretend that an organization is definable and intellectual property. So such learning organization cannot categorize as stable but bounded. So normally each subgroup including an organization always categorized by different culture and evolve according to the diverse interaction which with different subgroups both within and outside the organization, and each of them will always change the form in response to the normative movement of individual worker in the organizations. And the second criticism is the dominant role of the manager. So the learning organization literature is traditionally written by and about the individuals who are the most concerned with the organization overall health and well-being. So those whose personal identity are most closely linked to the organization goals and developments. So they are the people who are always in the higher positions, such as CEO, manager, supervisor, who represent to the organization, not individual staff of the organizations. The learning institution will seems to be exclusionary in its development and use. So the individual employee views, agendas, and dreams tend to be irrelevant only to the extent that they benefit the organizations. So this is ionic considering the literature appreciation of the significance of the different perspective, while the worker perspective tends to be welcome in the dialogue that working company manager promote. So workers are not discussed in this literature of the learning organization, and the individual employee organization learning process are not examined. Okay, the learning organization analysis and the anecdotal statistics focus on the business and organizations that are self-sufficient and can afford educated consultant and educational services to help the employee learn more effectively. So besides, most of the small business such as the independent contractor will be ignored. And the next, the third criticism of the learning organization is it only focused on problem solving and instrumental knowledge. So the learning organization emphasizes two types of knowledge, which are creativity, problem solving knowledge, and problem solve detections. A persistematic approach to understanding the cognitive construction of meaning is the problem solving orientations which frame which frame the learning as a continuous search for independence from challenges. So when learning is seen through the aspect of problem solving and product innovations, the learning process appears to be limited to the technical information for instrumental purpose. So as a result, the productivity is seen as the ultimate metric for evaluating the professional development activity, team bonding, culture, and community building the efforts. The criteria is generalized to all the form of meaning making, and learning is limited to a mean to an perspective on life. So the utility of result is not longer a problem. Worse, the learning is also related to the manufacture of the products which relies on certainty, time interval, and tangible materials. So the union of learning and manufacturing produce the strange fruit as shown by the business research on intellectual capital as if the impermanence of meaning making may be packed with purchase and markets. And the next one, the fourth criticism of learning organization is the organization's use of the critical reflections. So other question has been posed by critic of the heavy focus on the contemplation of workplace learning. So the first is the focus on deflection suggests that everyone find the deflection helpful or even relaxes, a premise that ignore the significant gap in learning style. And the second, the deflective practice suggests that an individual deflection is organized by education, agent interference, raising the issue of influence and the type of information provided by the pedagogical motive. And the third one is the concept of the reflective activity separate the thought from the invention as thought the kinesthetic, sensual, intuitive, and the emotional cycle are not embodied and intertwined with the reflective cognitive interpretive process across all the apprehensions of perception that unfold in conscious job practice. And lastly, the criticism of learning organization is totally, or we say that fully rely on the open dialogue for meetings. So to expose one opinion, belief system, and value for the shape or critical analysis is to the is to the employees should give their real ideas and active in the meeting without any hidden information during the meetings. So the requirement for such information may be perceived as monitoring and disciplinary regulation, which would be a direct branch of an individual agent lives. So the another issue with simplified interpretation of workplace discourse is that they ignore the problem and complexity of interpersonal interaction which influence the negotiation process. So in the group dialogue context, the power and repo are always raised in the role of dynamics. So we can see very clearly in the workplace where interaction and relationship are organized according to the gender, class, age, job status, and other positionalities. So, for example, most of the employee always fair to give their own opinion during the open dialogue of meeting because they are really concerned about their idea can be acceptable or not, and it will also affect to their image. So there are some difficulties of achieving the fully egalitarian idea expression circumstance where little to not consideration is paid to differ as the various characteristics, different opinions, aware and unnoticed pressures. Okay. So in the workplace, the ironic that not one has a fair chance to engage in focus on and contradict each other in a team's communication. So the vision of a good team trend to adopt conventional patterns to accomplish the corporate objective, avoid the complexity of various discourses, and changing the ideology of employee within the organizations. So there are also a lot of obstacles to the defective thought that truly encourage the learning exist in many organizations, such as the strengths, competency traits, prejudice against the action, powerless of an individual, and emphasize to observational result and clear intergroup borders. Okay, next one I will present about the part of the conclusions. So, in a nutshell, the learning organization that proposed by Peter Senge is referred to the management of organization. It's based on the 5 disciplines, which are personal, mastery, mental model, share vision, team learning, and system thinking. So these 5 disciplines of learning organization are also very popular to apply by the current organization to improve the performance of the companies. So there are also a lot of benefits of learning organizations such as efficiency gain, avoid decline, increase the employee satisfaction level, and so on. So however, there are also a lot of criticism by the scholar to the learning organizations. So in this report, we only mention that 5 disadvantages of the learning organization that criticized by the scholar. So that is the organization act as a barrier for learning, dominant role of manager, only focus on problem solving and instrumental knowledge, organization skills of critical deflection and fully rely on open dialogue for meetings. Hence, we can conclude that it is not totally perfect management theory that solely apply in the organization. The organizations need to use different type of management theory in the organization which are fit to the current trends. So that's all. Thank you.